Good morning, interwebs. It is, I don't know, I think about 8, maybe a little before. My phone is charging. I'm leaving today, so I packed last night. I didn't film that part, but yeah, I packed last night. Mostly, I just need to finish putting things away, gather food and stuff to take with me, and we went and picked up the rental car last night, obviously, so I'm all ready on that. I think I'm gonna leave here sometime between like noon and 1, probably around noon. My train leaves at 6:15. I have to have the rental car back by 6, which, I mean, I want to get there around 5-ish probably, so that I don't have to worry about, missing my train. It's a 3.5-ish hour drive according to Google. When I Googled yesterday, at the time I looked, it was basically the same to take the 101 or 166 to 5. And personally, I prefer that drive. I'm just more comfortable on it. It's a smaller, like, back road way to go, and I like it better. So, I am not going to take the 101 against some advice from some family members, but my parents agree that I should go the way I think is pretty and enjoy, right? Right. So, anyways, it has not been the most delightful night of sleep or anything, but it'll be okay. I can sleep on the train or when I get back to Kansas. Probably won't have a good night's sleep till I get back to Kansas, but that's okay. So I'm going to finish gathering things up, and then I will keep you up to date on my day of the first part of traveling back home. Guess what? I'm home! But I hardly filmed anything for you this day, so I thought I would tell you about my day, because I didn't have an opportunity to film after I talked to you in the morning. So I packed up all my stuff, and then I had a train that left at about 6 in the evening. So around noon-ish, I got everything together and said goodbye to my mom and my aunt, and I'd said bye to my dad earlier that day before he went to work. And so then it was a very difficult goodbye, and many hours of difficult after. So I drove down to LA from Santa Maria, and I took 166 to 5, which, yes, is a longer way, and yes, the 101 was open, but I enjoyed the view on 166, and it was gorgeous. And for all the things that I do not like about California, which is most of them, and I do not miss living there, I do miss mountains. We don't have mountains here. At least I'm fortunate. I think people think of Kansas as just being like flat nothingness and just like it's the plains and it being completely flat. And that is true in parts of Kansas. I live in what is called the Flint Hills region of Kansas, in like the northern part, kind of on the eastern side. And we are actually very fortunate to live in an area with a lot of rock outcroppings and small hills. They are not mountains. And even the parts of California I was driving through are not the big mountains, because I used to live up in Northern California and toward the Sierras where you have big mountains. Now these were like foothill mountains, but even the foothill mountains of California were fun to see. So I did the drive. It was good. I needed some time to myself, so that was good too. Then I got to the train station, turned in my car, all that. I was like an hour and a half early to like even start boarding the train, and they board the train early. So I finagled my way. I figured out how to use the bathroom with all my luggage. I didn't fit in a normal stall with my luggage, and you can't do anything with it. And then I was like, I should just use the handicap stalls. When I was in there originally, they were full, so it did not occur to me. And then I went back later, and they were empty, and so I was able to drag my bags behind me, so there was room. And then did that, and that was good. And I sat and I worked on my mitts while I was sitting in the train station. There was like a youngish girl. I mean, she probably looked like she was like less than 20, and a guy, and they were taking like modeling pictures using the train station as a backdrop. And it was also really funny because they were like super sketched out, because you're not supposed to like be in the waiting area if you are not a ticketed passenger, and security did not notice them, but it was funny to watch them like kind of like sneaking around to get these like shots of her sitting on, I mean, these beautiful chairs. Union Station in Los Angeles has beautiful architecture and a beautiful seating area. And actually, for the fact I dislike crowded places, Union Station in Los Angeles feels surprisingly safe. Like, it is very well patrolled and monitored, but not in a way where then that makes you feel uncomfortable. So, I don't know. Then I got on my train, and I was sat next to, we had to go pick out seat assignments. So, like, I had to go to the ticket window, and they assigned me a seat, and I was assigned a person to sit with. But she was only going to Victorville, which was, like, 3 hours from where we were. So, I had a person to sit next to for a little while. So, basically, when we got on the train, I put my stuff away, and then I went and sat in the observation car most of the time that she was there, because that way I didn't have to sit next to anybody. But I did think it was amusing that she looked like she was maybe 23 on the high end, but like a college student age. And she had multicolored hair. So I told Steve, I'm like, so apparently, you know, birds of a feather, they seat us together. So it was okay. I didn't actually say a word to her. She was on her phone having a very intense personal phone call with somebody that involved terms like, I don't feel that you're vulnerable and I have emotion. It was just like, okay, I'm gonna go so that I don't interrupt what you're doing over here. So she did that. And then she got off about 9 and I finished up my mitt. Other than putting the thumb in, because I was having a hard time picking up to put the thumb in. I was crocheting, but even just, you know, picking up to put the stitches in where it needed to be with the movement of the train and the low light. So I just waited, and I just did that a little bit ago here at home, and so now the mitt is done. And then I started working on my poncho for just a little bit, and then I went to sleep. And I slept for a very long time, and the next vlog will pick you up from there. What I did think about and notice throughout the day is apparently I like doing things slow. I enjoy slow traveling. We're drivers. We like to drive places. We like to ride the train. I don't necessarily care about getting places immediately because like the trip is part of it. I don't know. Especially in this case because like when I'm in California, while that is vacation, it is visiting other people, and it is not always the most relaxing thing. But the wee bit of time, the 30-some hours I'm on the train by myself, is like the only 30-some hours. So I guess 30, so like maybe 65 hours a year that I am completely alone. I guess I also am completely alone parts of when I do craft shows. But that's it. Otherwise, even at night, when people are sleeping, I am somehow responsible for other people's lives. So, right now, Jezebel is staring at me as though I'm responsible for hers. Would you like out, Jezebel? Would you like out? Go. I have the door closed because the dishwasher is running, and it's pretty loud in there. Anyways, I was thinking about how I like slow travel, and I think that it's interesting, but I realize I like slow most things in life. Like, hello, look at all my crafting. I don't do, like, instant gratification projects. I tend to not find those gratifying. I like to spend a little time with something before it's done. See, I cook the same way. Like, I'm not really a convenience-y food. Even when I'm lazy, my lazy food is at least a little labor-intensive, or it was labor-intensive at some point to put up the ingredients to then make it easy later. So, I like to spend time with the things in my life before they're over. So, that is it for today's travel segment. Tomorrow, I will pick you up on the train and you will get to see beautiful scenery. I'm very sorry that you do not get to experience the drive I had down 166 with me, but as I was the one driving, it was just not safe to film. I do film occasionally when I'm driving here, but then I'm always on like back farm roads where there's nobody driving, so it's fine. But I don't film when I'm places with traffic. So, anyways, I will see you all tomorrow. Nighty night.